And just like that, everybody, it could be happening. Chinese gaming restrictions coming to the game of Fortnite. Yes, if you're anywhere else in the world, you should be safe as of right now. Brought to us by Intel, which, last time we talked about this was about the Fortnite Age Gate, which never ended up being a thing. So take that with a grain of salt. But it could, this one definitely a tuning with more backing and more evidence of any Chinese Fortnite players out there possibly facing restrictions in terms of XP gained and actually be able to play the game after a certain period of time, as apparently new warning messages have popped up inside the game as well. And only actually particularly goes to China for now, but this could be elsewhere in the future. If you guys have watched this channel, we've talked about China and their gaming restrictions, which could be happening, this year or in the near future, apparently due to their social system. The way they do this is you tie your identity to your gaming account. So if you cheat, you can actually face severe in real life repercussions, alongside if you do other scammy things online as well. It all affects your social/credit system. And so in China, yes, you actually tie your identity to a game account, like an Epic Games account as well. And so what could be faced sometime soon is now restrictions on the amount of time you can actually play a game like Fortnite. We also talked about in the past, supposedly for minors, that being Chinese residents under the age of 18, they could be facing severe restrictions on the play of any video game. We talked about that many months back. There are workarounds to that as well. A lot of residents or individuals over there will actually use someone else's ID who is over the age of 18. Thus, they can actually play the game as long as possible and no longer technically be under the age of 18. With these in-game messages, though, it could be, yes, after a set period of time, the first message popping up after 3 hours of gameplay, it starts to warn you that what you're doing is not healthy. And again, not really sure if these are parental controls. I'm not really sure if that makes sense either, to have a parental control that a kid could also switch off, or it's actually destined to be in the game for everybody, but it's supposed to try and prevent Fortnite addiction. After 3 hours of online gameplay, cumulatively, the in-game gainings will be lowered by 50% from now on, and the challenge progress will actually be disabled. For your own health, please log off, is what the game will say, and get some rest. Appropriate physical exercise is good for your body. And that is what supposedly might be called the fatigue gaming period. I assume if you continue on playing, you then enter the unhealthy gaming period. For your own health, please log off and get some rest immediately. If you do not log off, your health will be harmed. Your in-game gainings is already lowered to 0, and challenge progress has been disabled. It does continue. It will not return to normal until your cumulative offline time reaches 5 hours. So what I can derive from this is after 3 hours, just 3 hours of gaming, you start to be warned. Your in-game progress does also start to be slowed. And I took that last message as well. If you keep on gaming, eventually, I'm not really sure if they meant your in-game health will be harmed as they start ticking away at your health. That seems a bit extreme, but it does eventually halt all of your progress until you log off of the game for 5 straight hours. Then you can get back on and play apparently 3 hours again and do this cycle time and time again. This is what China might supposedly be actually putting into the game of Fortnite. What do you guys think about this? My first thought, especially if it starts in China, are they trying to appease by some majority group over there, right? Are they trying to keep Fortnite approved and published and actually serving the Chinese market? Otherwise, the government might strike back against Fortnite. I have no idea. Along with that as well, it kind of makes me worried about, yes, albeit the Chinese pro scene for Fortnite is not that established, not that dominant compared to our major regions of NA and EU, but what if it were to be, and what if it's trying to be now? Does this apply to everyone of all ages? Because if you're a Fortnite pro player, whether you're 13, 18, or 24 years old, you can't just be practicing for 3 hours and then taking a 5-hour gap and then practicing 3 hours, another 5-hour gap. Yeah, we'll see what comes of this, guys. As of right now, such preliminary information. I really can't take too much from this, albeit I'm a bit worried if this ever were to become a thing across multiple games in multiple regions, especially when it comes time for, rise and grind kind of pro players out there who obviously need to be gaming more than this period of time to be a good and a pro player in any esport out there. As of right now, though, it's only really a precaution. We're not really confirming this either, but it should be in China, supposedly, that Fortnite will be restricting your gameplay time. Otherwise, they will harm your in-game progress to nil and pretty much force you off the game. Until next time, hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome. That's my intro. Until next time, hope you guys are having a great day. I'll be back here sometime soon breaking down other esports and gaming news. Okay, take care of yourself. I'm delusional.